PhilosoMe Talks podcast, episode number 9. And we got a good show today, man. I'm excited about today, y'all. Yo, how y'all feeling, man?
Yo, today's a good one, man. I can't wait to actually ask questions and learn more.
Facts, yo. But before we get started, y'all, I want to go ahead and make sure y'all click subscribe, follow, leave comments, share, get this open, y'all. Especially, I just got a feeling about this show today, man. All right, so I want to make a toast, y'all. I want to make a toast for episode 9. All right.
What you toast?
And what I want to toast to is I want to toast to us being able to make this happen, being able to have different people from different races, different ethnicities, different mindsets, be able to come on the same platform and give their perspective without judgment.
Facts.
I appreciate that from us. So cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Yo, we got a special guest in the building, y'all. And I'm gonna let L Boogie introduce this man here we got on tonight.
We got my boy Dr. Randy Jackson. And make sure, please say the doctor, put some respect on that man name.
Facts.
You worked hard for it. Word.
Yo. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
So, I know you very well. Everybody else don't know you, but, we gonna get into it. You can tell them where you're from, a little bit about your story. You ain't got to drag it out, but
hey Randy, we know you know his ass because when I said L Boogie, you look like who the fuck is that? This nigga L Boogie? That shit came out too fluent. Who is Boogie?
Yeah.
Hey, what y'all call him when y'all were young, bro?
We call? Oh man, it depends. So if we going way back, we called him Can't Get Right. Way back in the day.
Wow.
Because he used to never talk. They thought Leon was a mute. They thought he couldn't speak. The thing is, he just shy. So if he know you and he rock with you, he'll talk. But if he don't know you, he's sitting in the cut like.
Yeah, I'm not. Remember when I said a couple episodes? I said, you gotta really know. You gotta really know me like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo,
know me, like,
I can attest to that though because I didn't know him. Like I didn't know him like I know him now until maybe LA. You get what I'm saying? So it's like in college, I knew him. I was like, yo, I respect this man because he always out the way. You know what I'm saying? I knew that about him. I can't say we were friends, but I just knew that about him from watching.
Yeah.
So I saw that side of him, but that's something that I respected. Because I ain't that way completely, but I'm that way. Like a lot of people don't. I'm quiet. I'm scoping the scene. I ain't around. I saw him that same way. Yeah. So I ain't had to go and say nothing to him. I'm like, yo, we understand each other. Like we got that understanding. So, but now that I'm around him and he talk a little bit more to me. You know what I'm saying? Can't get right.
Yeah,
I don't trust people though.
Yeah, that's
out of pappy ass.
that's that growing up in Jersey. It was always like, if we ain't know you, if we ain't rock with you, then we was just like, all right.
We
just kept it real close knit. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that life's so much different.
A lot of shiesty people up there. A lot of people looking to get over on you. Yeah. So it was like, if I ain't rock with you, if I ain't break bread with you and know you like that, then
we seen too much grimy shit growing up. Yeah. So that's why the way I am, like I'm not gonna be too comfortable with you until
Yo, Randy,
what part of Jersey you from?
I'm from the same part as Leon, so Somerset, Franklin Township, New Brunswick, so right smack in the middle of Jersey, right where Rutgers University is.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up like walking distance from Leon's house. I met him when I first moved over there. So I think I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
I know
Leon
forever.
Third or fourth grade, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd be a different person if I went to school, went to college up north, bro. Like I feel like I'll be a different person right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the lifestyle is just so different.
Yeah, it's
in the South. Because we from Carolina, South Carolina. So the lifestyle, just listening to that shit is, I can't
very
imagine.
Different.
What made you want to be a doctor, bro?
Oh,
what
man.
Type of doctor are you? What type of doctor are you for the people that made you want to be a doctor?
So my specialty is family medicine. So I'm like general primary care doctor. So I take care of everybody. I take care of kids. I deliver babies. I do women's health stuff. I take care of like adults. So do a little bit of everything. And then what got me into medicine, it's a long story, honestly. I wanted to do it when I was a kid. I thought it was cool. Then as I got older, I was like, all right, how, like, what's going to bring value to my life? What's going to give me that sense of purpose? And like math and science was always like, nah, it's not too bad, not too difficult to get through. Then I just saw how people like who look like us got treated, and was like, nah, somebody got to step in and do something. So that's really the big like motivating factor behind everything, is like trying to balance stuff out or trying to do more for people who look like us.
Yeah. So how in the medical world, the world that you're in now, is that still a thing? Like, do doctors treat Black people different? Really? Big time.
There's studies showing like just doing polls on doctors, like how they perceive different people, how they perceive their pain. So for Black people, doctors tend not to believe them when they come in saying that they're in pain or that something's going on. I mean, it's widely researched, published articles about like.
No, I believe that.
I believe it too.
I believe it too.
It's true.
They be like, you'll be all right. Just go get some Tylenol.
Exactly. It goes all the way back to like, I mean, 1700s, because they used to experiment on Black people without any anesthesia, without any drugs, and they'll be like, well, these people are subhuman, so they perceive pain different anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then that kind of thought process and that kind of rhetoric just really just stayed in place over the years to where we at now. To me, it's all about skin color. It don't matter about socioeconomic status. You can be Black and poor, Black and rich. They still gonna treat you differently.
Yeah. Yo, and to my spiritual people, yo, that's an understanding. Like, I believe that we're gods, number one. So when I say we are gods, it takes so much more. You know, we can tolerate and endure so much more and still be the same. You know what I'm saying? Think about that shit. Like, we're the same going through that shit. So imagine if we didn't have to go through that shit. We have to find our way and escape that. And it's from people like you. You know, for people like you being the hero of the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is heroic, bro. Like, I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
One thing I do respect is just the challenge of going through medical school and all that shit. Cause I was there. I remember I used to be up there and I'd be like, yo,
step of the way.
I was like, yo, what you doing this weekend? It's like, yo, I gotta study.
So
every single time it's like, yo, I gotta study,
What was that process like? What was that process like leaving from coming out of high school and then going to college? Like,
bruh, it was bad. It was rough because like I'm the first person in my family to graduate from high school. So like when I was coming out of high school, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know where I'm going. I found some programs in Jersey through Rutgers that were designed for first generation students, like underserved minority students, but it was like boot camp. So the summer right after I graduated high school, I had to go into this program and basically live on campus and go through boot camp just to get into college.
Man,
it was good because it offers support, but it was like, yo, why they treat us like shit? Because we poor. So it used to fuck with me because I'm like, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I don't come from nothing. So, but that was like part of the game. So if you choose to go through that, they gonna make you do all this extra stuff. Like
a pre-remedial course and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And it used to piss me off because I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm not stupid. I'm just poor. Like I don't think the two go together.
Yeah. One thing I can say, you did work hard though.
Right.
I'll give you that. Even we played sports together. We played football together. We wrestled together. We was on a wrestling team. We used to wrestle too. And the nigga used to push me. He used to push me. I ain't gonna front.
Every day.
I was like,
every day.
God, practice, push me. Like we used to go at it too. Like
to the point where we was gonna fight.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Because it was like, ain't no point of being here if we ain't gonna go 100%.
But I'll give you credit. You did push me on that though.
Oh yeah. Because you was the better athlete and the better wrestler, but you wasn't about to show me up.
Yeah.
Hell no. You was not about to show me up.
So my question to what you were saying, like, so how mentally wise, how did you get yourself through, even though you knew like they was asking you to do all this extra stuff, this, that, and the third? How did you get yourself through that moment and then go on to the next part?
Oh man, I had to lock in. Like I had to cut out a whole lot of stuff. So that first summer, like right after I got my high school diploma, I got to that program and they used to just like yell at us and threaten like, oh, if you don't keep your grades up, we're going to kick you out, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? I don't want nobody on me. I don't want nobody worrying about me. Like, I'm going to just get this shit done so I can get out of here. So that what that entailed was like cutting off a lot of stuff. So like no parties, no going out, no like really just if it wasn't work or schoolwork related, you wasn't going to see me there. Yeah. So that went all through college because I worked every semester, like 2 or 3 jobs. Had the pre-med stuff going, had to keep a really high GPA. So I had to really, like, my friends knew it was very common not to see me for 4 or 5 months at a time.
Damn.
Yeah. Tell them the amount of hours you study a day in med school. People don't know.
Yeah. And
tell me how many hours a day you study.
I mean, we talking like 12 to 16 hours a day, most days.
Man.
Yeah.
Studying.
It was, just like hitting books, reading, research, like learning how to really understand stuff on like a completely different level.
Got to, because people nowadays, a lot of people that I've been around growing up, they like, I study an hour a day, and then we think that shit is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, they study for an hour.
I barely study an hour a week in college.
You're right.
Right. I study an hour a day. I'm like, damn, they smart. They study an hour a day. I know they got to know a lot of shit.
Yo, maybe.
He said 12 hours.
I used to be like, yo, you got to come to a black college, yo. You got to come to HBCU, yo.
That's big, though. No, that's definitely big. Hell yeah. 12 hours?
It was.
I can't even sleep for 12 hours.
You're right. What, 12 hours a day, yo?
It was, it pushed me because it was like so many different licensing exams that you got to sit for 6 hours, 8 hours, like all those different tests. So you just get used to it. Cause it, like if you got an 8-hour test, then you got to be used to sitting for 8, 9, 10 hours at a time, just so you could get the, multiple. Yeah. That's exactly what I said.
So what was your motivation? Like, what was your motivation through all of this? Like, it has to be some kind of motivation to make somebody say, I'm gonna keep doing this.
A lot of it was internal. It was always like a race, me versus me kind of thing. Like, I don't come from shit. I ain't never have nothing, no opportunity at nothing. So it was like, how far can I take this? Because even though I don't have shit, there's no excuse. Like, I'm here with the people who went to the prep schools and their parents as doctors, and they went to Ivy League undergrads and they had all the opportunities, and they in the same room with me. So I was just like, if I could keep pace with them and I ain't have not nearly what they had, that means that I could really take this shit to a whole nother level if I could lock in. So it wasn't even competing against them. It was competing against me, because I was like, they got all that extra shit and I don't. So how can I make myself better? How can I surpass that shit.
Yo, that shit crazy though. But the amount of resources that y'all have up north, yo, to be able to get into that type of stuff early, you don't see that shit in the South.
Randy, I talked to Tweezy about it. I can't remember an episode, but I was saying up north got a lot of more programs.
Yeah.
Down south, if you poor and you out in the country, you on your own.
Like, and that's where we from. That's where we from. We from the country.
And that's why you gotta encourage the kids like to leave home. A lot of kids don't want to leave home. A lot of kids want to stay home, go to the local college and do this and do that. But nah, you gotta get out of there.
Bro, Florence was so small and had me so trapped. I used to go places like, yo, I ain't ever leaving Florence. I don't care where I'm going. I ain't ever leaving. Like, I'm from Florence. Like that. Like that's the type of attitude I had, yo. But when I opened up, the world opened up to me, and I put that shit to the side. It's a whole nother world.
Yeah, like a lot of people get. Yep, you're right. A lot of people get stuck in that mentality. Like it's comfortable. Like it's what you know, so you don't want to leave it. Not realizing like how many other doors to open up.
See, it's crazy you say that, Tweezy, because people in Jersey want to leave because that shit is just too damn expensive. They just be like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of Jersey.
That shit crazy.
Taxes.
Yo.
But the craziest thing about all that is if somebody come from Jersey and come to Florence, they'll take over. Somebody come from Florence and go to Jersey, they'll see a whole nother world and they'll be like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. They're exposed to so many different things. So it's like when you go from different environments and because the only reason I say somebody come from Jersey and go to Florence and take over because they already know the game and they understand everything. When they get there, it's easy to them. They're like, oh, y'all doing, man, we've been doing this. I can do this, I can do that. And it's crazy.
But you know, it is the South. It's easier to go south and set up businesses and stuff. It's so much easier.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You ain't got to deal with the politics. Like when you go up north, you got to deal with the politics.
Bruh,
a lot of politics up north.
Yeah, but and it's also easy because y'all make bigger money than us. So it's easy, for you to transfer down. For what y'all paying for some small shit, y'all can live probably like a king in the South.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, bro. Like that shit is wild.
I respect that motivational factor, man, because you could take somebody who come from like a situation where they don't really have shit, and then they get put into like school or something like that, and when times get hard, they just, all right, man, I can't do this. I'm done. I respect like that. You kept that motivation going because like 12 hours a day, and then you said an 8-hour test, yo. You said an 8-hour test.
Multiple
8-hour tests. Like anybody who don't come from nothing. Like I'm not gonna say that about everybody, but majority of these people, they like, yo, I ain't gonna do this because man, I don't have to do this. I'm cool where I'm at. But that takes a whole different type of motivation, yo.
Self-motivation.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It deters a lot of people. That it's set up that way for a reason to deter poor people and people from lower socioeconomic status not to want to do it. It's just like, damn, it takes a long time. Yeah. It's expensive. I need all this support and these resources. Like, it ain't even worth it. I'm not going to do it.
I ain't even think about that.
But yo, you got to remember, like, Randy, a lot of your classmates and Rutgers, they didn't have to worry about money, finances, and stuff like that.
They was good.
Stress. Especially like the black schools, we be trying to survive, yo. Like, people don't understand, like, people be trying to survive. Like the survival thing is real. It's real.
So outside of
HBCUs,
outside of the 12-hour studying and outside of the 8-hour test, you got to worry about how I'm gonna get my phone bill. Am I gonna be able to pay my car? Am I gonna be able to afford rent? You got all this other stuff to worry about when they just can easily go to school, do what they got to do.
They living for them. They living for themselves, and we living for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So especially when you are family oriented. Like if you ain't family oriented, that shit, like they be don't.
Right.
But when you family oriented, like your family is important to you, like that shit, you got to be a lot of places that your mind ain't always in the right space. Hey,
I agree with that.
So what could you tell black women? What can they do? Because I keep hearing a lot of people, when I told them I was speaking with a doctor, they were saying, yo, can you ask about, black women and having these doctors, that's not going to take care of them properly?
Yeah.
What can black women do?
Man,
to protect
I'll be honest with you.
Like that?
It's a scary place. Like us as black dudes, it's like you know, we got big targets on us, but Black women in the healthcare system, they at the bottom of the bottom. Like it's dangerous.
Damn,
anytime they go to the doctor, anytime they go to get checked out, because it's just the way that the system's designed. Like they get put on the back burner, and I mean like affluent Black women, not just people from lower socioeconomic status. I mean people who got access, people who got privilege. It's the perception of like, oh, they're ghetto, or oh, they're different, oh, they have higher pain tolerance, oh, they don't deal with this, and that's how dangerous situations get put in place.
So they just put you in the same socioeconomic status, no matter what your economic status is.
Yeah, they just look crazy. At you like oh, that's
crazy.
Yeah, it ain't right, and I've encountered it every step of the way, and every time I encounter it, it's harder and harder to deal with. Like the higher on the ladder I go, because I'm like, yo, it's not supposed to be this way. Like you're not supposed to treat people like that. So where I'm at, I call it out wherever I see it, like regardless of what's gonna happen to me. Like when I did my residency,
real shit, bro.
You have to.
Yeah. I got a good question for you because people want to know. People want to know. So, going through residency, right? You worked the emergency room, right?
Yeah.
So, how was the experience working in the ER? Because you worked in, can I say the city?
Yeah, you can say
St. Louis, and we know that was like the time you there was the most dangerous city in the country.
Yeah.
So
it was wild.
How was like the
wild.
ER experience, like the crazy stuff you've seen and stuff like that on your day to day?
It was wild, like a lot of gun violence, a lot of people with chronic illnesses. There was not a lot of hope there. Like there's not a lot of access, not a lot of opportunities for people. So the stuff I saw there was just like mind blowing. I'm like, yo, how could people be this sick? Or like, how can people like survive like this? Because they didn't have nothing. Just like working in the ER, even in the clinic setting, I would just be like, yo, this is blowing my mind. Like coming from East Coast where like if you was poor, you still had like some opportunity or some access. If you poor out there, it ain't looking good.
So did you ever have to do like therapy because some of the shit you seen?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured, I was like, you've been a doctor all this year, you got to do something like therapy for you.
It was some crazy stuff I seen there. Stuff where it's just like, yo, that's not supposed to happen to people.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's still happening.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
you got your COVID shot, yo? Yet?
Yeah.
You did? Mm-hmm. How you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, after the second dose, I was like fatigued for like a day or two.
Did they make you get it? Or
it was recommended.
Kind of like send an email like, we got COVID shots available. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And since I'm seeing patients every day, I mean, I'm at risk. So it was like, risk benefit analysis. I was like
keep it real. You ain't want to get it done though. Keep it real.
I was on the fence about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just given the history of experimentation.
You ain't got to be around the bush, Craig.
I'll be real with you. I was definitely on the fence about it. I was like, this ain't looking good. They done experimented on us enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit's still the clinical trials, though. I don't care.
Yo, would you recommend it? Oh, are you allowed to say that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would. I would just because, like, what else do we have?
That's true.
Yeah, that was how I rationalized it. I was like, what else do we got?
Nah, but your field, you gotta get everything done. So you gotta get the flu shots, all that shit. So you already know.
I got a question for you too, though. And I mean, it's not a spot question, but it's like
don't be scared to ask so many questions.
No, it's not.
You ask me whatever.
No, I'm not scared to ask. I'm just saying, like, being that you went through everything you went through to get where you're at, how would you how would you? I'm trying to figure out how to say it because I'm trying to figure out like how would you go back and give back to like help kids who come from the same situation you come from get to where you're at.
I've been doing that the whole way. Okay. The whole way. That's been the most important thing to me. Like we set up tutoring programs for kids, outreach programs for young kids to get them like exposed to math and science, fundraisers where we getting school supplies for kids, mentorship programs where like we working one-on-one with people, going to schools. Like when I was in college, I started doing motivational speaking. So I started going to schools all over Jersey, and then it spread as I made more contacts. I would go to New York, I'd go to Pennsylvania, I'd go to DC, I'd go to Maryland. And this was all free. This was like, I'm driving my car, my gas. I'm not charging nobody nothing because it's important. It's important for kids, especially kids who look like us, to see somebody that looks like them, that's successful, that's doing stuff besides rapping, besides playing sports, shit like that. Something that's a little bit more outside the box. Because then they could say, well, shit, you know, I seen somebody who looked like me who can do it. I could do that too.
So have you ever thought about like expanding? I mean, I heard the cities and the cities you name. Have you ever thought about expanding further to the south? Because I mean, that knowledge kind of don't go past that one line.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I did it in Missouri too. When I got to St. Louis, I just started networking. We set up a nonprofit that raised a bunch of money, got book bags, school supplies, and then we'd go to different schools like in the hood and just give it out. Because we knew where those kids was coming from. They ain't had nothing. Like they wasn't eating breakfast. They wasn't living right. So it was doing stuff like that, and then doing like community health screenings where we giving out free stuff, and that's gonna get people to come in. And while they there, you checking blood sugars, you checking blood pressure, stuff like that, and trying to get people to come to the office and be seen. So that stuff is vital because it's just like inherent mistrust amongst Black people in this country against the healthcare system, and rightfully so.
Yeah, because only reason I asked that question is because while you was talking, I'm thinking like, what could possibly be done for like high school seniors who actually maybe at one time they like, I want to be a doctor, do this, do that, but when they got to like their senior year, they get told like, yeah, you're gonna have to do this, take all these classes, and they like, well, I'm not gonna do it. So I was just thinking like a nonprofit or something like that would be a good idea for like a couple schools just to do a trial and error at like to see to actually get seniors involved and understand the health field. Because like you said, it's like a lot of people have been brought up to hate the medical system. It's because it's flawed in different ways. But if we can reach out as a community, as a Black community, to these seniors who will be the next medical profession, like that'll actually help the whole situation somewhat. For real.
Girl, why the hell you keep looking up, yo?
I'm looking at the bracket.
Like, this nigga nervous.
Grip live in DC right now.
No, I'm looking at
DC.
I'm looking at the bracket. You know, it's March Madness, so I'm looking at how this bracket about to play out right now.
That was some real shit that you just said, bro. I kept focusing on why the fuck he keep looking up.
Nah, my TV on ESPN right now, man.
Yo, but what you doing for the Black but for the colored community? I'm learning some like credit. I feel like credit is something that we have minimum understanding of in the Black community. Yeah. So my passion right now, truthfully, is I'm actually taking information from people about credit. I'm purchasing information to learn about this credit shit. So and like felons and shit like that, like helping them with their credit. So we should partner. We should partner on something. Like we should
I'll be with it.
Yeah, we should definitely partner on something, yo. And once I get all the knowledge that I feel like I need to be comfortably, doing that shit for people, we should definitely partner and create some type of program or some shit, yo. Like something.
I agree. It's important, man, because like I feel like a lot of outreach programs and stuff get to people too late. Like you'll get to people when they're senior year of college and they got like a 1 point something GPA.
Exactly.
And it's like, Dan, you want to help, but it's like, Dan, how could we have gotten to these people earlier?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I started going to like the elementary schools and the middle schools and getting to the kids then, because I'm like, yo, if we catch them now, we can make so much more of a difference versus like getting to them when they're already in high school, because they need the support when they're in high school. But if you can get to them earlier and motivate them earlier, it makes life so much easier for them on the back end.
And I feel like,
oh, well, I was about to say, and the crazy thing you say that is because when they actually understand a lot more, then they're going to help change the world more while they're coming up as well. So I mean that's going to help the whole situation. I get like helping people now, but like the kids that's coming out of school now, this is the future. Mm-hmm. These are the kids who these people are going to be going to looking, because this world is changing. It's becoming more technology savvy. Like everything revolves around technology now. So yeah, I agree with you on that, yo. And I agree with that so heavy because I'm a teacher and I understand like these kids have to be reached at a certain age in order to better our generation and our community. Because if we don't, it's gonna keep.
It's just perpetual motion.
We really need to understand that I feel like the education system, you know, there's a level of understanding. A lot of our mentality is like psychological. Like they got a mind. You know what I'm saying? So what you said was deep. Like when you catch them at that certain age, you know what I'm saying? Psychologically, that system wasn't able to capture their entire imagination yet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if a kid can inspire to see himself and see like, yo, I can be that at an early age, that vision is already there. But when you start catching that shit, when you already psychologically fucked, and I see that shit, it's like, he was smart. He had everything already. Like he good. That's what we start to believe. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, bro, that's some deep shit you should just say.
Yo, Randy, how much time you got? You got 10 more minutes left?
Oh yeah, I got time. You good? All
right, now I know how it be. You backed up all that damn paperwork and shit.
Nah, we good. We got time.
All right. I don't want to mess up your situation.
Nah, we good.
Yo, so how you feel about smoking weed, bro? Like what? Like how you feel the benefits of smoking weed and why people should or shouldn't?
Yeah, it's tough because I mean if you smoke anything, like breathing in smoke is caustic to your lungs. Yeah. So it's like anything that you breathe in terms of smoke is going to do damage. But there's a ton of benefits to like medical THC. I can't promote anybody inhaling stuff into their lungs that could cause damage, but there's other ways to ingest it. And I mean, there's tons of benefits shown for like, treatment of anxiety disorders, mood disorders, chronic pain. CBD is huge in the pediatric world in terms of treating seizures. So it's a lot of benefit there. The problem is the politics around researching it, because I mean, they made hundreds of millions off locking people up and keeping a certain class down for so long. And now it's flipped, and they're very slow to be like, all right, it is as beneficial as they once said it was, because then that means people got to take responsibility for all the stuff they did back in the day and all the wrong they did to people of color. And nobody wants to take responsibility for that.
You know why they're not really pushing the research? Because a lot of the research, like especially like universities, they're funded by the Fed. So like, the USDA, the FDA, they give these universities money to do research. Like these land grant universities, like Rutgers, Virginia State is a land grant university. They get money from the USDA to do a lot of these researches. So until it's legal federally, we're not going to get proper. Some states or private companies will do their own independent research, but we're not going to get the budget like you want to see to do the proper research until these universities start getting funded properly. Yeah, honest with you,
he's absolutely right. Like it's all politically charged. Like even a lot of research studies that that are out there, a lot of them are limited just because there's no funding for it, because it's still federally, it's still illegal. So they just gonna say, nah, we not putting no money into that. We're not putting no money into research for that.
So basically, they saying, if I'm giving you this money, you got to do what I tell you to do with it.
Bingo. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Y'all got any
Sadly.
That mean they need to be more like Jay-Z. Jay-Z ain't making no deals like that. I need equity.
That's real.
Yo, I appreciate you being a part of the solution, bro. For real. Because it's horrible out here for us. I see it. I live it. Like it's horrible out here for us, and I appreciate seeing you and knowing why. I appreciate seeing you doing it, but I definitely appreciate knowing why you're doing it. You know, it's like that's some real shit that I salute you for that,
I ain't
bro.
felt like
Appreciate
that.
you,
I had to teach myself how to study in college, yo. That shit's sad, yo.
It's hard because they don't teach you that stuff.
No,
they don't teach it to you like in middle school and high school. They don't teach you how to study. They just teach you how to take a test, maybe if you're lucky, but they don't teach you how to really study. That was one thing I did a lot of seminars on, was study skills, like how to get organized, how to prepare yourself, how to study smart, instead of just being like, all right, I'm gonna go to the library and study. You get there and you spend an hour getting your book open and figuring out what you're gonna do, versus like having a plan of attack anytime that you're gonna go do some work. Like if I'm gonna go to the library for 3 hours, I've already got it planned out. I'm gonna be like, all right, the first hour I'm reading this, second hour I'm doing this, and the third hour I'm doing that, and then I'm leaving.
Yo, I'll give you credit though, because what you did in undergrad was smart as hell.
What you doing?
Because he didn't major. He didn't major in pre-med. Yep. He majored in African American studies, and he just took the courses he needed to get into medical school. Because you don't have to be a pre-med major to get into medical school. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, you can major in anything that you want.
So why put yourself through all that stress?
He worked the system. He worked the system, bro.
Wow.
I studied public health and Black history, and by virtue of all the prerequisites, had a biology minor. But that I didn't like that, so I was like, this is not what I'm interested in studying. So my degree is in public health, my undergrad degree. Just because I was like, what I'm studying biology for, I don't want to be a biologist. I don't want to play with plants or dirt or animals. Yeah. But I had to actively pursue that, because I thought when I got there, I was like, oh, you either got to be a biology major or chemistry major
or pre-chem major or
and I just kept bugging people, and it was like, nah, you can study whatever you want as long as you hit this list of prerequisites, and because that's what you got to take the MCAT. That's the exam you got to take to get into med school.
Bro, that's something students don't know. That's something students today that don't know. I appreciate you saying that too. I hope they rewind that. And you know what I'm saying? Like listen through that, because he's giving you the code. Like a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, because it's annoying. You taking all them extra science courses.
Exactly.
And then you got to study for it. It's just like, why?
I ain't want no extra science classes that weren't relevant to what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm not about to take plant biology for what? Like that don't interest me whatsoever. I'm not taking that. Like, no, hell no. And once I got comfortable in saying that, like, no, that I don't like this, I'm not interested in that, then that helped me kind of figure out what I wanted, like where my interests were and what motivated me to study. I found stuff that was interesting to me.
Bro, you did what you wanted to do, not what you had to do.
Exactly.
Yo, what made you get your mindset to that point to where you making these type of decisions on your own? Because the type of decisions that you were making, bro, was decisions that people need guidance to. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be showing them the way. So what got your mind there?
Bro, I was scared. I was scared of ever going back home to where I was from, like what I was dealing with at home. I just saw so much like fucked up stuff that just kids shouldn't see, teenagers shouldn't see. And I was just like, I see what these decisions will get me if I go this route. So I'm gonna just do the opposite of that. And no matter what it takes to do it, I'm gonna just do it because I know for a fact if I don't, that's where I'm headed.
It was in for real survival mode. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But how did you know this would be a good decision though? What did you see to make you say this would be a good decision? Because I mean, like you say, if I see a drug dealer making millions of dollars in the street, and I know I got to go to school for what? Some kids think it's 20 plus years you got to go to school just to become a doctor.
Yeah.
But how many years do you got to go to school to be a doctor though? Because I don't even know.
No, so it's 4 years of undergrad. So you got to have your undergrad degree, and then 4 years of medical school. So that's 8. And then you do your residency training, depending on what field of medicine you in. That could be anywhere from like 3 to 5 to 6, maybe 7, depending. Like if you want to be a brain surgeon or something, it's going to be like 6 to 7 years. So we talking total journey somewhere around like 10 to 11.
Damn, you starting fucking from pre-K going back up to 11th, 12th grade, man.
Yeah.
1st grade to 12th grade again. But the grip question though, I didn't want to cut you off, Grip, because that was a good ass question that you was asking. But Grip,
what did you like? So was it like, what did you see to make you say like this would be the right path to take? Like,
it was. Honestly, it was something that kind of unfolded over time. I knew what the street life was gonna get me. Like my closest friends was in that. Like I lost a friend to some gang gun violence when I was a sophomore. That's what set me off. I'll be real with you. That was the one that I was like, I'll never do this stuff again. Like it was a switch, like night and day. Man, this got shot and he died. And I was like 15. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And then I was just like, whatever I got to do to escape that, to get away from it, I don't care what it is, I'll do it. And then when I got to college, it was like the same kind of mindset. Like, I don't care if I got to stay up for a month straight to study, and that means I don't have to go back home to that, then I'll do it. I don't care. Yeah. So a lot of it was fear. It was fear. I was scared of failing, because if I failed, that meant I had to go back home. And I wasn't going back home. Was not going back home. Leon seen where I'm from and what was going on in my house when I was growing up. Yeah. It was no way. It was no way. I was like, nah, I would never go back to that.
You want to know something funny? Yo, you know it's funny. You literally live down the street from the campus, like walking distance. Yeah. This thing's like, nah. I could walk from my house, from my mother's house to campus, and I had to live on campus. This nigga, he still got a dorm and everything.
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, he can look outside and see his house. He's like, bro, I ain't going back home.
I was not going back home.
Yo, I forgot he was in the same city. I think he left home like me. Nah, bro.
I was walking distance from the main campus. Like, we talking 5 to 10 minute walk.
Yeah. No, the football stadium was across the like 2 blocks.
It was too, like, you could see, I look out my window and I could see the football stadium. Like, it was right there. And I was like, nah.
So it's like somebody going to Francis Marion, living in Florence, and saying, bro, I ain't going back home.
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
That kind of motivation gets you, like, I feel like that can get you in, whether it's sports or whatever you really, really want to do. If you got that kind of motivation, like, I can't fail and I can't go back to where I'm from, like, it's either this or nothing else.
You got to know how to channel your fear, though, because he said it was the fear of that motivated. The fear motivated him. We had an episode about fear.
Yeah.
Because I just jumped out of a plane and shit, and that's but he was saying fear motivated him, but he knew how to direct his fear the way it wanted to go.
Yeah, because fear will cripple you if you let it. Yeah. If you're too afraid to take a chance or too afraid to go for broke, you'll be complacent. You'll be like, well, it's not worth it. I'm gonna fail anyway, or I don't even want to waste my time. that's when you let fear kind of go too far in one direction. You gotta harness that shit and be like, all right, I'm definitely afraid of failing, but what am I more afraid of? Failing or going back to where I come from, or not getting what I set out to get. And some of it was like not having no safety net, because nobody was gonna give me no money, nobody was gonna let me stay with them. So I was like, all right, it's this or nothing.
Yeah. Damn.
And that's the problem, I think, now. Like, a lot of young kids, especially in high school, they're like, I ain't going to college. I'm not trying to do this, because they clock themselves out like, this is too hard. You know, I'm not going to be able to be an engineer. I'm not good at math, shit like that. And
they defeated ahead of time.
Yeah, they defeated.
Damn, they make themselves believe that shit, yo. That's how powerful the mind is.
It's that.
I used to think like that. I'm not going to front. I used to avoid certain things because I used to just clock myself out. When I was like, yo, in order to be successful, you gotta challenge yourself. So,
but it's that, and the streets offer a lot more nowadays as well too.
A lot of money, a lot of support.
The street offers a lot more, and if I can, like I said before, if I can make $1,000 in a day and in 3 hours, and I got to sit in the class for 7. I'm gonna go do this 3 hours. And the only reason I say that is because I see it on an everyday basis. These kids, they do this every day. They do it.
Right.
But I feel like that's when they don't know what's really important. Like, because you think about it, the people that's doing that shit ain't more rewarding than living a peaceful life, bro. Like it's not. So the money may look like, but that shit come with too much. So
that shit really a trap. Because remember, we talked about Tweezy. Because you see the fast money, eventually that day you get locked up, you're gonna be sick as hell.
Yeah.
And then you got that shit on fast. You got that on your record, like you were saying, Tweezy. And then you like, damn, I gotta change my life. This jail shit suck. But then you can't get a job. And then you go back to doing the same shit. Yeah.
But I will say, look at these times now. Like, who do they like when I say look at the times? Like, it's glorified now to be a gangster, to be a drug dealer, to make videos. Like I see so on a daily basis, I see so many videos of high school kids holding guns up, got drugs and everything in the video now. But like, it's glorified now, and that's what they see, and that's what they want to be. Yeah, and it's actually kids that come from good stock that see that, and they still want to do it.
They think that shit is cool.
They want the story.
Yeah, they want some clout, or they want some attention that necessarily ain't even them, because they see that and they like, oh, that's how I get money, or that's how I get access to this stuff, not realizing like half of them dudes that's making these videos and making this music, they lying anyway. Yeah. They not really from that. They not really coming from that, because if they was, they wouldn't be talking about it. Real dudes, as real street life, they not talking about that. They going in, they putting in their work, and they getting it done.
Right.
But I will say to reach like the male. I mean, of course, we want to reach every African American or every colored student, but to reach the males, like I understand, like when I used to go talk to some of the males, like, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do that to get this, and the third. It was like, all right, whatever, this and the third. When they see me come to school with Jordans, this and that on, they like, oh, so you can still buy all this and you work like this. Like they start seeing that. You got to be more relatable to them. But if
you got to meet them on their level.
Yeah, if they constantly see a white face in front of them every day, they're like, what she know about this, or what he know about this? They come from this.
Man, these men out here changing young black lives, bro. Like, that shit is amazing.
But we need more of that, and that's that's why I'm saying it, because it's not a lot of it. We need more.
But some people want to do that shit. They just don't have their channel yet. Like, you don't want to hop into some shit and you can't even give your whole self because you ain't fully in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got to find their people. We got to find our passion in what we want to teach too. Like, then that because it takes, ain't no fucking way I can teach the same shit he teach, but he doing it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
But no, you don't have to. I'm saying we need more of that presence in the field. Like, so say like if your passion is throwing rocks out a window, you can tell somebody how to throw a rock out a window the best way than I can. So we need more of that presence, because when kids just see like drugs is the driving force, and I feel like it's more than what we was growing up, because I feel like they just get exposed to like it's the coolest thing to do, to sell drugs, to be a dope boy, to drink lean. There's that like
technology and social media, man. It really
that's the difference.
Distorts
I'm
reality.
Glad you said that. Yeah. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference from when we grew up, because we caught it on the tail end. They got it full bloom now.
Yeah. They
where it's like, where it's like, if you don't have that, if you're not doing that, then you looked at like you soft or you a chump or something like that. And that's one that's always drives me crazy, because it's like, yo, you don't need to be hood to be somebody who can carry themselves. Like I seen Leon put in some serious work when we was younger. He don't carry himself like he ain't got no sense. But if it came down to it, like,
how many people we seen that just do away their life because they didn't have to, yo.
So many just wanted that, like that they was craving some attention, some love, and they, you go looking for it in the wrong place, and if you find it, that shit could be dangerous.
Yeah. I said it's dangerous when you roll big squads, yo.
Yeah,
dangerous.
They don't got your best interests at heart. They looking at something else.
Me and Brandy, I don't know if we could talk about any stories, but we got some crazy stories.
Yeah.
So why you gonna say I don't know if we can talk about the stories, but we got some crazy stories?
I'm talking about for him, not for me. For him, not for me. Yeah,
I know. I get what you say. I just hate when people be like, I got a crazy story, but I don't know if I can tell you.
I can't tell you. Yeah.
Like what?
We could touch on it a little bit.
So I got a question. Regency, right? So how was your regency? Like, especially like, because you was looking young, black. Is
it residency? What do you?
Medical residency.
Oh,
yeah, medical.
So it's like, yeah.
Yo, I was lost for a second.
Yo, it's a drink. Yo, it's a drink. Yo. You got to drink.
That shit staying in there. That shit staying in.
Yo. I wasn't gonna say that at first. I kind of knew what he meant.
Cut that shit.
No.
This shit ain't live.
No.
Richie, cut that shit.
Richie said, "What is regency?"
Y'all gotta chill. He said, "What is regency?"
Nah, yo, we had a funny one. This nigga, dog.
Nah, I thought y'all was speaking of medical terms.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
At first,
y'all know some shit I don't know about.
He said it again. I was like, he got to be resident.
Anyway,
he was confident as hell.
Anyway, it's a drink, man. Anyway,
yeah, blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah, you should have had some of that,
man.
You should have had some of that sangria you was just not talking about.
That was the old Leon.
That's that can't get right.
Yeah. That's the old Leon. I can't do that.
Oh shit, yo. What were you saying now?
All right, so dealing that, you're young, how was the respect factor of it going?
Oh man, they used to ask me if I was
what? The respect factor of what?
Come on, why you cutting it off? He said we keeping it.
Oh, I thought what you were saying.
So he asking like going into residency, because that's like you just finished.
Randy, they school. Joking. They try to get me to say it again so I can fuck up. I ain't falling for that track, nigga.
Say it one more time, man. Go ahead.
I'm type nigga, if I fuck up on a word, I'm gonna avoid saying it. I ain't stupid, nigga.
I'm saying something another word. I gotta say that shit.
Hey, everybody say if I can't say it, I'm saying something else.
Yo, you gotta send him that clip, bro. I'm gonna send you that clip, bro. I got that. I'll send it to you.
Please send me that. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
All right, so being that you look young, you black.
Yeah.
So, what was the issues? Or like, how was it? How was the experience? People want to know.
Oh man, they used to ask me if I was like the janitor.
Damn.
They used to ask me if I was the nurse. No disrespect to nurses whatsoever. But when you got a badge on that says that you're the doctor, and somebody's like, "Oh, are you the nurse? Are you the tech? Are you?" It was always something besides what I was. Or I'll come in, introduce myself. I'm Dr. Jackson. Nice to meet you. And they're like, okay, Mr. Jackson. Or people will call me by my first name, like, okay, Randy. And I'm like, nah, we in a professional environment. It still happens. It happens to me every day at work where I'm at currently.
So how do you handle that?
When I was in residency, I mean, I pick and choose my battles. So depending on what the situation was, I'll say something. I usually try to be polite about it. Like, nah, well, actually, this person, like I'm the doctor, that kind of thing. Now I got much less tolerance for it. So I'm pretty abrupt about it. Like, no. Like, no. Yeah. Somebody call me by my first name. It's like, no, I don't like it. And it's a ploy by people. It's what people do when they feel intimidated on the inside. So they like, yo, this black dude is like, this is the doctor. Like, he's intelligent, and it makes people feel inferior about themselves. And then they subconsciously bring you down. Like, it happens all the time. Like, I was taking my dog for a walk a couple of weeks ago, and I'm talking to some nurses that live in my apartment complex. And I was like, oh, I'm on call. I might get a call from the pharmacy. And the nurse who I was speaking with, she was like, oh, are you a pharmacy tech? And I'm just like, no disrespect to pharmacy techs. Like, I don't, mean to step on anybody else's job, but it's like, why is that the first thing that you jump to?
Right.
Like, why is it that? Like, if I look different, would you make that same assumption?
But
we all know the answer to that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They could have asked if you was a pharmacist. They said tech.
Exactly. And in my mind, I'm like, you a nurse, you work in the healthcare field. What pharmacy tech is on call? That's not a thing.
That's a 9 to 5 straight.
Yeah.
So that's something. So that's something she should have known. That was like a sneak diss. No, so that was a sneak diss.
It was a sneak diss. Yeah.
Damn.
It happens a lot, and it still burns me up. But the way I look at it now is like, it's people acting out of their own fear and anxiety or feelings of inferiority. So they try and project that onto you. So I'm just like, man, that's your own ignorance. That's you being self-conscious about yourself. That's something between you and you. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
And the crazy thing is, that's how they were brought up. Like that. That's the thing. That's the scary part. We got to understand that it ain't only our world we living in. They're living in theirs too. You get what I'm saying? So the system grooms all of us. It grooms all of us, but just more so against us rather than them. We got to understand this. It's that it's a real. This is a real thing. If you don't think outside of what you see going on, you're in trouble. Yep. Like that's the thing, bro.
Yeah, it's like they groomed to only see us in certain lights, and like part of that I blame on the media. Part of it I blame on some of the music. Part of it I just blame on lack of like role models and lack of community. But then the other part I completely blame on ignorance from people that's outside of us, that don't look like us. Because it's just like, what would prompt you to say that? Like, would you say that to anybody else? And it's always a resounding no. But it's like people feel like they can do that, like they feel entitled that they could say these kinds of things and do that. And I'm like, nah, we not doing that. We not playing those games.
That's crazy. Yeah, and you got to think like those sort of people. They, like you said, you made a good point when you said like the people that you're around, we're not really accustomed to anything other than ourselves because how the system was built. Them too. So that's the thing. We gotta make sure that we realizing like, yo, we damn near can't even expect to naturally understand each other because it's two totally different worlds. You really gotta work on yourself to be able to understand perspective.
You know something, Tweezy? You remember how you said when you from Florence and they still got all black high schools and shit. I didn't even think that shit existed anymore.
Yeah, we went to all black high school, bro.
So I was telling them like we come from a town where we're from the most diverse area.
Yeah.
So for us to go somewhere, it's nothing for us to adapt.
That's crazy. Bro, that's something that
we've seen everything.
Yeah.
That's something that to the point. Look, this is how it is in the South. I went to a black elementary school, not as the blackest, but a black elementary school, all black middle school, all black high school, all black college. So when I went to Newberry, it was a predominantly white private college. I couldn't adapt. I had to leave.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was too much of a culture shock. I was like, yo, I don't even know how to make friends at this mug. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to what I know.
Yeah.
So then I end up, the league was calling me, and I stayed with one of my white professors, you know what I'm saying, for like 3 months or some shit to train for the league in Richmond. A lesbian older white professor, completely outside of what I'm used to at all.
That's crazy.
And then being around her, I'm going to like her functions, going to her gym, her world. That shit opened me up to different people right there, bro. Like then I started like, yo, I got best of both sides almost. You know what I'm saying? I got the ends on both sides. So that shit made me want to broaden my perspective.
You start learning how to mingle with different groups.
Everybody. And people always ask me like, yo, how can you talk to so many different type of people? I get that shit all the time. And it was because I don't think a lot of people get to experience what I experienced, where you from one world completely, then go to a dramatic other world completely, and then you find the balance in the two. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard to do.
It's hard to do, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. So, shit, I did that shit. I had to. I had to, bro. I would have ended up back home, too.
Yeah, you can't have that tunnel vision. It's just like you grow up one way, you learn one way, but then you get out in the real world, and it's like so many different cultures, so many different kinds of people. It's like, yo, if you don't learn how to interact and talk to whoever, it's gonna limit your growth.
Yo, can I ask a question? Why does the black and the white matter when you go into the doctor? Why it matter what color you are? Like, is there some health difference? Like, not health, is there like anatomy differences to make? Okay.
Back in the day, they tried to make it seem that way. Like we were genetically different, like anatomically different. Really is for what we call social determinants of health. So if you black, the likelihood that you're gonna get high blood pressure or diabetes or like chronic illnesses is so much higher because of what people of color in this country have had to go through, like chronic,
based on your community,
invisible stress. Yeah. Yep.
You might not. People are surviving off of bodegas and shit like that.
Yeah.
Certain neighborhoods, they eat their dinner from the corner store.
Yeah. There's like stuff like that. I think that's why they look at race, because for me it shouldn't matter. But when you looking at a racially charged society that we live in, it plays such a huge role in like the social stuff that plays on your health.
Man. That shit crazy. I wonder when that started then. Because I wonder when they said, oh yeah, we got to make sure that. I wonder why that shit started. Like, we got to make sure, if they black or we got to know before we go in, because they might have diabetes, like why that shit started. Is it because of what we were fed during slavery? So they knew that shit that was going to create this?
That's part of it. Another part of it is just like all the studies that have been done on different demographics and seeing what the certain outcomes are. They learn that like, oh, if you're black and you're from this place or you have these medical problems, you are like 10 times as likely to develop this. And they tried to pin that on, oh, it's because they're black. They didn't take a step back and say, oh no, it's not because of the color of their skin. It's because of the way society has treated them due to the color of their skin. So the color of your skin doesn't make you more susceptible to diabetes. The color of your skin and the way that you were treated because of that and your access in society across all lines, education, food, all that, that's what plays into poor health outcomes, but they don't. To admit that means that you have to admit that something wrong happened here for a long time. And like we've been saying all along, nobody wants to take responsibility for that stuff.
Yeah, that's some real shit.
I think mental health too. Like,
the
community, we don't get we don't get therapy,
we
anything
don't.
like that. People get shot and killed. We just go on with the next day.
Yeah.
Like, you go some of these big schools with money. Like, this is a regular school, like in the suburbs. Somebody gets shot, they start offering programs. Like, do you need to talk to somebody? And you need some counseling. Somebody gets shot one time in their whole life, they need counseling and all this stuff. But like, this is an example. You go to Chicago.
That's a fact.
Somebody might see 10 of their friends die in like 2 years.
They don't get no therapy.
They don't get no therapy
help.
or nothing.
That's crazy.
And you're talking about like a soldier might go to war and see one of the peoples get killed in battle, and they suffer from PTSD.
Just one.
What's it called?
They can see one.
PTSD.
Yeah, they suffer from that. Yeah, like you said,
it's the drink.
One.
It's the drink, y'all.
Yeah.
PST.
But you go to the hood. There's people that see multiple of their peoples die, and they don't get no treatment.
That's a fact,
so
bro. That's a fact.
They got a lot to do with it, believe it or not. But
The stigma on mental health in the Black community, I mean, is real. Like, as Black dudes, especially, like, we not allowed to be sad. We not allowed to deal with emotions. We supposed to just tuck it away and just keep moving forward. And that's like, it's a toxic trait.
Bro, that's a fact.
Yeah,
because I've been through therapy, bro. Like, I'm one of the few Black men in our community that actually went to therapy. And Grip, he knew me the longest. He can attest to you that shit changed me, bro. Yeah, that shit changed me, yo. Like, it's something that we are mentally scarred from the very beginning. We unaware of it because it was from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's all we know.
Yeah,
and if it's all you know, then you don't even realize like how much influence it has on you.
Yeah. So that's some real shit that you said.
Well, thank you for your time, Dr.
For real.
Yeah,
Dr. Jackson, doubt. Man.
No doubt.
We're gonna take a trip to Cali.
Give him a round of applause, man. Give Dr. Jackson a round of applause, bro. So they
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro.
Of course. We supposed to be shooting a live show in Cali.
You're more than welcome. Just hit me up. Just let me know.
Yeah, man. We need to get acquainted, man. I don't know if you got any social media, anything that I could follow, or like just get on that level, man. Because I appreciate your mind, bro. Like, for real.
Absolutely. Real recognize real. You know.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. So yeah, we'll get it. So Richard, you can cut it. Oh shit, you was ending that shit, right? Richard, don't cut it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Boogie.
Nah, you good. I mean,
go ahead,
Grip. I ain't got nothing.
Grip.
Go ahead and do the ending.
Yeah, I guess so. You got anything else you wanted to leave us with, Dr. Jackson?
I mean, y'all just keep doing what y'all doing, man, because it's important to have these kind of conversations because it don't happen enough. I think as Black dudes, we programmed to like be standoffish and programmed to be like, you know, who's that other dude over there? I don't know them, and not have these kind of conversations and not grow and not get different perspective. And it's so helpful to, like, you know, we both Black, all four of us, but we got different outlooks and different perspectives on life because of where we come from. Yeah. So it's good to have that kind of that discourse because you learn so much, you gain so much like perspective and knowledge on like how other people view the world. And it's important.
Facts, so that's some real shit, yo. Go ahead, Grip. Like, I appreciate you, man, for real.
Yes, sir.
I'll definitely be in touch, man.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, man. Yeah,
Of course.
A lot of knowledge tonight, for real, that a lot of people need to hear.
Always happy to help, man. Leon, that's my A1 since fourth grade. So you know, my fiance, she know because she's seen fake friends come in and out, and she's like, nah, you done had like a handful of dudes that's always been there no matter what, and he's one of them because it's just like. We done been through so much shit, seen so much shit together, and seen the growth, and
Yeah, this thing used to get frustrated at medical school. And I'm like, yo, you better not quit. You about like $250,000 in debt. You about 400 racks in debt, nigga. You better not stop.
You just be like, you'll be all right.
You better
finish.
You'll
be all right.
Yeah.
Take a little time off and get back to it. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's some real shit, yo.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what's crazy though? His girl's a dentist. So this nigga hit the jackpot on both ways, yo.
Yeah, for real, bro.
We don't fuck around. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's some real shit, man.
Cause we gonna set up Cali. We trying to do a live show. We working our way to it, but you know.
Yeah.
We gonna
just let me know.
Word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do that shit.
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah.
Yo, this is what life is about, bro. Like this is what life is about, yo. I appreciate this podcast. I appreciate us coming up with this podcast, yo, because if we wouldn't, this type of shit wouldn't even happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yo, I appreciate us. That's what I'm gonna toast to when we redo the shit, yo. Yeah. But go ahead, Grip, man.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap everything up here, fellas. It's been a great show. I feel like we all gained a lot of knowledge today from each other and from Dr. Randy here. And today I want to leave y'all.
Dr. Jackson.
Oh, what I said?
Dr. Randy.
Oh,
it's all good.
My bad.
He's nervous, y'all. Don't worry.
I'm not nervous. My bad, Dr. Jack. Oh, it's the drink. My
you
bad.
Good?
It's the drink. My bad, man. I'm gonna pull a Leon on you. It's the drink.
I ain't never talked to a black doctor before.
I'm gonna leave y'all with my quote for the night, man. Do what you can with all you have, wherever you are. So once again, do what you can with all you have, wherever you are.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect for the night, yo. That's perfect. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.